Subscribe the channel and press the bell to never miss updates.
Hello everyone, welcome in BioPeel. In this section, we will talk about pituitary gland. As we know, the pituitary gland is major gland of endocrine system. Almost it controls to all endocrine glands which present in our body. As earlier, it was called as a master gland, but after some era, the scientists discovered that the pituitary gland is also controlled by another gland, and that gland is actually a hypothalamus. We know the hypothalamus is a gland which is responsible for homeostasis, and it is also controlled to the pituitary gland. That's why we can say here the hypothalamus is a master gland. So let's go to the structure of pituitary gland. Here the pituitary gland is a small sized. It is just like a pea structure. We know the pea plant. So this structure is a pea-like structure, we can see here. And it is located just behind the hypothalamus. Here this is the hypothalamus, and below that this is a small sized, that is known as a pituitary gland. Here the pituitary gland shows two lobes. You can see here, this is the first lobe and this is another lobe. Yes, so the first lobe is also called adenohypophysis, that is the anterior pituitary part, and here the posterior part is also called neurohypophysis. The adenohypophysis is larger in size as compared to posterior lobe, and this part is highly vascular. Their number of cells, we can say the secretory cells, are present in the adenohypophysis. Mostly acidophil, basophil, some chromatophores are also present in adenohypophysis. So here the larger hormones are secreted in this area. Now let's go to the posterior lobe. The posterior lobe is a neurohypophysis which is directly connected to the hypothalamus. It connects to the hypothalamus by axon fibers. As we know, the axon fiber is a part of nerve cells. And the two lobes of the pituitary shows a stalk-like structure here, and which is known as a infundibulum. This part is a infundibulum which directly connect to the hypothalamus. You can see here this part is a hypothalamus. This part is hypothalamus, and below that there is a pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland is directly connect to the hypothalamus by a stalk called infundibulum. Now let's go to the hormones of adenohypophysis. Here the five types of the hormones are secreted by adenohypophysis. Number one is somatotropic hormone. It is also known as GH. Next is thyroxine, that is a thyroid stimulating hormone, and TSH. Here the ACTH means adrenocorticotropin. Number 4 is prolactin. Number 5 is gonadotropin. Here also there are three subtypes. The follicle stimulating hormones, that is FSH. Next is the luteinizing hormone, which is known as LH. Interstitial cell stimulating hormone, and that is also called ICSH. Now let's go to the first hormone, which is known as a somatotropin, that is a GH. Now what happens in the growth hormone? It is responsible for growth of the body, and if the hyposecretion or hypersecretion of the growth hormone, it is also causes some disorders. So which are the disorders? We will see the later. Now for the growth hormone, it needs some proteins, we can say the large number of the proteins and cell division. Mostly at the time of the puberty, the growth hormones accelerate to the synthesis of protein, and also the also it accelerate to the cell division. And if the hyposecretion, so what will happen in the children, the adults, stunted physical growth, and a condition is called pituitary dwarfism. The child growth is stopped that time if the growth hormone is secreted in a less quantity. What will happen if the growth hormone secreted in a larger quantity? We can see the hypersecretion. Hypersecretion of growth hormone in childhood causes gynaetism. In such cases, the child shows the body like bones of the nose, lower jaw, hands, fingers and feet. So these are enlarged. So in such cases, enlargement of bones of nose, lower jaw, hands, fingers and feet are takes place. So this condition is actually called acromegaly. Now let's go to the thyrotropin hormone, which is also known as a thyroid stimulating hormone or TSH. What happens? Its primary action is to stimulate the thyroid gland secretion of the hormone thyroxine. Its primary function is to stimulate the thyroid gland secretion of the hormone thyroxine. Now let's go to the ACTH or adrenocorticotropin hormone. So it stimulates adrenal cortex to produce and secrete its hormones. It maintains functioning of adrenal cortex. As we know, the adrenal cortex is the outer part of our kidney. As the kidney shows two parts, outer cortex and inner medulla. So the cortex is responsible for secretion of hormones, and which is regulated by ACTH. Now let's go to the prolactin hormone. Prolactin is unique among pituitary hormones as it predominant inhibitory control from hypothalamus. Prolactin stimulates to milk production and secretion of milk by mammary gland of childbirth. So this hormones is responsible at the time of birth. We can also say birth hormone, that is a prolactin. Now let's go to the gonadotropin hormone. Gonads, it means the ovary and testes. So here a follicle stimulating hormone, that is also known as a FSH. It stimulates growth of ovarian follicles in the females. While in males, it is concerned with the development of seminiferous tubules. As we know, the seminiferous tubules produce large number of sperms. So basically the sperm production is by follicle stimulating hormone. Now luteinizing hormone, that is in short LH. LH induces the ruptured follicles to develop into corpus luteum and for production of progesterone. In female, the luteinizing hormone helps in ovulation. Ovulation means discharge of ovum from Graafian follicles. FSH and LH both are responsible for stimulation of ovaries to produce estrogen, while LH induces the ruptured follicle to develop into corpus luteum and for production of progesterone. Now let's go to the interstitial cell stimulating hormone, which is also known as ICSH. Here in males, it stimulates the testes to produce the androgen called testosterone. So this is the hormone which is almost secretes into the males. Testosterone is responsible for secondary sexual character, as it produces secondary sexual character. Now let's go to the another slide. Here the hormones of neurohypophysis, that is the posterior part of the pituitary gland, and which secretes two types of the hormones, oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone, that is a ADH. It is also known as vasopressin. Now let's go to the hormones. Neurohypophysis. First of all, we will discuss about the oxytocin. It stimulates contraction of uterus during parturition. It also stimulates the contraction of mammary glands. It produces, or we can say it release of milk. So it's called birth hormone or milk ejecting hormone. Now let's go to the antidiuretic hormone. What are the importance of ADH? It stimulates the reabsorption of water in distal convoluted tubule of the kidney. It is responsible for reabsorption of the water into the kidney. If there is a scarcity of water, that time it plays important role, as it inhibit to the loss of water from the kidney, and mostly it controls to the collecting ducts of the uriniferous tubules. It decreases loss of water by reducing the urine quantity. It also increases blood pressure by causing vasoconstrictions. Deficiency of ADH reduces water reabsorption and increases urine output, and this condition is called diabetes insipidus. No glucose is lost in the urine. Excessive micturition causes excessive thirst. This condition is called polydipsia.